Do you ever struggle with anxiety, tight shoulders, low back pain, gagging reflex, allergies? What do these all have in common? And what simple little device could you use in 2 different ways to address them? That's what I'm going to share with you today. Hi, I'm Cheryl Townsley, naturopath and wisdom coach. As a wisdom coach, I love to give you resources that are so easy that you can learn to work with your brain, which determines a lot of symptomology. Work with your brain to create some amazing results. You see, anxiety, tight shoulders, shallow breathing, easily startled, even poor digestion, even allergies, even low back pain, all reflect poor breathing. It also is impacted by one of our cranial nerves. What are cranial nerves, you say, Cheryl? Well, the cranial nerves are like the fuses for your nervous system, just like in your house. You have too much load on a circuit, you blow a fuse. If you blow a fuse, you can't use whatever is on that circuit. Well, one of the cranial nerves, one of the fuses of your brain, is for swallowing, for this part of the neck. And what I want to do is show you 2 simple strategies so that you can impact breathing and swallowing. So, what do you need? You need a straw. If you're really good, you can use 2 straws for the breathing. And you also need a glass of water. So pretty easy, pretty inexpensive. Let's look at the breathing one first. I always encourage clients to pay attention to how they're currently doing it. That's called noticing. So if you just allow a deep breath, you might want to do this in front of a mirror. Take a deep breath, and do you go, I'm exaggerating, but are your shoulders going up and down like a bird? That's not healthy deep breathing. Deep breathing should really come down from the diaphragm, which is lower. This isn't a guilt trip. Just notice what you're doing. And then we're going to take a straw, and what we're going to do, I'm going to have you hold the straw, not just have your lips do it, because we don't want to tighten the muscles of the face. You're going to breathe in through your nose and out through the straw. Now, for some of you, that might cause your brain, not logic brain, but this reactive brain to go, what are you doing? What are you doing? If that's the case, only do it a few times. If it's easy, go for a little bit longer. The goal over time is to be able to do this for 5 minutes. The cool thing is you can have straws available in your car, in the office, in the kitchen. Do it with kids. Do it yourself. Easy to do throughout the day. And then I'm going to show you an advance for those of you who are very goal-oriented. So let's demonstrate. Breathing in through the nose. Out through the straw. So one more time, I'm going to breathe in for a count of 4. Exhale through the straw, breathing in. Now, the longer you can exhale through the straw, the more you're increasing your capacity to breathe deeply. Why is that important? Because breathing deeply signals the brain that you're safe and you can switch out of fight or flight into peace and calm. It's as simple as a straw. When you start out, you may find that breathing in and breathing out, you do 2 seconds each. It's like, that's shallow breathing. That's being stuck in fight or flight, which not only drives all the symptoms I just gave you, it also drives cortisol and belly fat. So this is very important for many, many reasons. Now, let's say that I'm not going to demonstrate going 15, 20 seconds, which I can usually do. If you can't do this setting with good posture, you might experiment with doing it lying, because for some people, lying makes it less stressful. So lying on a bed, you can bend your knees and have your feet on the floor or in bed, breathing in and breathing out through the straw. Different ways to play with it so you can discover what your brain likes best. Now, for the overachievers, you could actually connect 2 straws by inserting the bottom one inside. I'm just going to hold it for ease right now. And then breathing in and then breathe out through the straws. So breathe in. And with 2 straws, I already know I can't breathe out as long, so it's one that I could work up to. So there's many resources out there on straw breathing, but what they don't really teach you is why are you doing this and how can you adjust it so it's easy and acceptable for your brain. You want it to be safe. So you have lying, you have setting. You can do it for a few seconds breathing in through the nose, then breathe out. For some of you, you may even want to hold your nose when you do the breathing out. So breathe in. And why would you hold your nose? You can't cheat of breathing out through your nose. You want to be able to breathe out through your mouth. One of the interesting things that might happen if you happen to be a mouth breather at night and have really dry mouth, you may find that as you learn to breathe deeply, that could change. So many things you can notice if someone has taught you to notice and pay attention. So this is one way to use a straw, and different ways to change how you do it so it works with your brain. Second way to use a straw. I do this with people who have trouble with swallowing. Maybe they can't swallow pills. Maybe they deal with GERD. Maybe they deal with allergies. Maybe they deal with swollen lymph nodes here in the throat. Those are all symptoms that go with cranial nerve 9. The other thing that goes with cranial nerve 9 is it plays with the saliva being released here, which is the first stage of carbohydrate digestion. So if you notice you're craving sweets and carbs, and it doesn't even matter what enzyme you take, all of that could have an impact in cranial nerve 9, one of the fuses in your fuse box. So I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing to do is I would suggest you take a few sips of water because then you've activated cranial nerve 9. Then here's how you reset. Just flip the switch to turn that cranial nerve on. Does it ever hurt to do it? Absolutely not. So you could do it once a day, you could do it once a week, you get to decide. This is the most difficult part for clients to find to do. You're going to hold a glass and a straw in one hand, turn your head one direction, and you're going to be sipping water while you tap the opposite jaw. So let me demonstrate. Sip. Usually 3 sips. Now, you have a cranial nerve on both sides. So you're going to turn the other way. You're going to put the straw in your mouth. You're going to sip and tap the opposite jaw. This used to be a very significant nerve for me because when I would swallow any liquid, I could hear myself really loudly. And I also had trouble swallowing. I also had tonsil issues, had them taken out, and had a lot of lymph issues in this area. So I did that particular little drill. I happen to have a cold laser also, and it made a really, really big difference. Now, even though I have worked on that cranial nerve for decades, I still notice that when I did it, my thought was, that impacted my breathing. So after you did that, you could go back, breathe in, breathe out. And I really noticed that calmed me down. If you're listening closely, you probably heard it in my voice. So, simple little tool. A straw to be able to improve the quality of your breathing, improve your noticing, switch you into peace and calm, and also work on cranial nerve 9, which is the swallowing nerve, one of the big fuses in your nervous system. Now, if you would like to understand more about cranial nerves, I encourage you to go to our website, CherylTownsley.com, and look at the resource called Activate Your Brain. Activate Your Brain goes through what causes your stress bucket to put you in fight or flight 24/7. It also teaches you the 12 cranial nerves, how you can assess, and how you can reset. Always a valuable resource. In the meantime, you now know how to set one of those cranial nerves, and you know how to improve your breathing, all with the use of a straw. Cheryl Townsley, naturopath and wisdom coach, helping you let your life be a little bit better the easy way, working with your brain.